Tonight we have 4 students, or former students, I should say, with us to answer all the questions related to life at ESPOL and Lille. And yes, maybe we can start by introducing everyone. And we also have Olivia with us, who's head of development and campus. So yeah, maybe we can start with I don't know, Caroline, maybe? That's okay?
Yes, that's all good. It's nice to see familiar faces. I haven't seen Olivia nor Francesco in a long time, so it's good to see you. Yes, and my name is Caroline, and I was a student at ESPOL from 2024 until recently, I feel like. No, wait, from 2022 to 2024. Yeah, I did my master's degree there in international security politics. And prior to that, I have a bachelor's degree in language and international studies that I did back home in Denmark, with an interest in international politics and security, especially defense and security politics.
Okay, thank you. Maybe Mate?
Hi everyone, I hope everybody can hear me clearly. My name is Mate. I just finished my master program at ESPOL during this summer. I did global and European politics, which I think now changed. This semester was changed into multilateral governance. It's the one which is organized by Professor Karamans. And my bachelor was history. I did it in Hungary at my hometown university. And yeah, like after finishing my master's, luckily I got a very good opportunity, a very good internship. Where later I got the chance to stay there and work, but I think this is going to be something to talk about later.
Thank you. Audrey?
Yes, so hello everyone. My name is Audrey. I was a student at ESPOL for 5 years, so I did both bachelor's and master's in ESPOL. I did my bachelor's in European political sciences, and I did the master's in digital politics. So I also just graduated this year, and after that I was able to find an internship working in working on artificial intelligence and strategies in Africa. And I just finished recently, and I'm gonna start a next internship in January.
Thank you. And Francesco?
Hi everyone, so nice to see you. Yeah, I'm Francesco. I was at ESPOL to do my master. It was at the time food politics and sustainable development from 2022 to 2024. Now it's green transition and something.
Climate and sustainability politics.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, I did my bachelor back in Italy in agricultural sciences. Then I decided to take a different approach, rather policy based, and that's why I came to Lille. And now I'm still at ESPO. I'm doing my PhD here. So good to see you all again.
Okay, thank you everyone for the short introduction. Maybe one thing I'd like to ask first is maybe if you have any highlights about, well, being or having been at ESPOL as a student, especially that you're all international students. Is there something in particular that you really like to highlight to maybe future students who are not sure if they're going to come to Lille or to ESPOL in general?
I think something I can say is that I really enjoyed the very international aspect of ESPOL, both from students and also from teachers, because we had teachers from all over the world. So we had the chance to have a very wide range of perspective. And I was very, let's say, satisfied with this kind of aspect from ESPOL.
If I may add something, I totally agree with what was just said. But for me, the biggest impact during my master was how how friendly the university is compared to Hungarian universities. To be honest, I was a bit scared at the beginning, like it's going to be a new country, a totally new city. I've never been there, but I can say that I always got help from the university and from the other students. Even I had a chance to ask help from Francesco during the years, and it was also really helpful. So I just think that the community at ESPOL is something that's a very highly added value for these masters.
And I agree with everybody on this, but I think particularly for me, it was also the actual classes that we had in at the school, because they're not as big. Usually, university classes or courses, they have plus 50 people in there. But I think we were around, maybe we ended up being around 16. And I really appreciated that because it felt like all the professors were focused on you as a class, but also you individually for what you wanted to do. And I highly appreciated that because I felt seen in things you wanted to do or specialize focus in. So I think ESPOL is a great place if you want that kind of classroom culture.
And maybe I can sum up everything because you all mentioned, I think, what's characterized ESPOL. So international professors, international students, so great teaching, great friends that you can meet, great community, you can hang out. So it's really a great aspect that I think we all enjoyed. And yeah.
Well, thank you everyone for those highlights. And was there any, like, in Lille in general, like not ESPOL, but the city, did you have any, I don't know, stereotypes before coming here, or like what were your expectations and what they met positively, or?
I come from Denmark, and we have a great drinking culture for where I come from. But it was good coming to France also, and this environment, especially in Lille, is full of students. So you never felt left out if you wanted to go and have a drink, because you would be, surrounded by international students, but also French people living there, and it was great to immerse yourself into that. And I know that Francesco, he can nod to this, saying that we found our favorite place to be. Like, we had a habitual bar we went to, and it was very easy to communicate with other people, even in English. So it felt, after a while, it felt like home, because it was not, Lille is not a huge city, a large city, so you could figure your way around in no time. So I highly appreciate that.
And maybe I can add, it's not as French as you can imagine. It's very international, very nice people. They are relatively friendly rather than other French cities. So it's really nice. The 2 years that we spent during the master were really nice, and the city offers so much, so many activities, playing badminton with Mate or going around and drink. So it's really cool.
I would just add very quickly that I'm coming from a city which is way smaller than you, and to be honest, I was scared a little bit how the size and how it's going to affect on my life. But I think Lille is one of the most livable cities I've ever been to. Somehow, as the others said, it's not just about, you can always hang out with anyone, you can go to bars and just drink a tea or something. But even if I needed to just clear my head, go for a walk in the park, and these things, Lille had everything. Well, I just needed to do my studies to always feel good about myself and try to keep everything together when, like, the exam period is coming and you are stressed and everything. You always find, I think, the best opportunities to get back on the track.
Okay, thank you. If there are any questions in the chat, feel free to ask. And maybe in terms of integration, did you have any difficulties also coming to France, to another country? Were there any difficulties that you were met with?
For me, it was difficult because I didn't know any French coming there. So I felt like I had to really get my school French out. But it was so easy in terms of help because the school was extremely helpful, and the French you would get in short time, they were on the same wavelength as you. You all came to this new city from different parts of the world, or even just from the country, and they were eager to help you. So even if you feel extremely alone coming to the city, you were never too far away from help. So ESPOL helped me a lot, but also people around you would not they wouldn't hesitate to help you, which was great as a newcomer. So if anybody sits there and are hesitant to move to a new country or city, they shouldn't, because Lille was the people in Lille are extremely helpful.
Okay.
You can always go to Olivia.
Yes,
That's
they
cool.
always came to me. I confirm. Maybe Audrey, she was more independent, Audrey, but she already did the bachelor's degree with us. Mate was always there, Francesco was there, and Caroline was always there. Just to add another question, did it make any sense for you to study in France, in particular regarding your careers that you wanted to do, maybe diplomacy or international, whatever path? Did it add any value, or it was just the choice of opportunity of the master, or the country played also a role?
That's a very good question, actually, because I've had a lot of people asking me that while I was in France, but also afterwards. And for me, school-wise, in terms of what I was getting out of it, in terms of career, I think that has a lot of pondus, so to speak, because after my bachelor's degree, I got an internship, a traineeship in the European Union. And after that, I moved my way back to Denmark, where I am now a head of section in the Ministry of Defense. So I had an idea before coming to France that, I had to be in this international environment for the rest of my life. And it was perhaps not certain that I would come back home to find a job because I was so focused on the international part of it, but I proved myself wrong there. Came home with a lot in my luggage that not necessarily the Danish people have from Danish educations. So that's what they told me when I interviewed for the job back then. So for me, it was highly valuable. If I think back to when I decided to apply for this degree and go to France, for me, it was the international aspect of it. And it was the fact that it was so broad that I could use it for many things, not just in the international realm, but also at home, with home being parenthesis. But for now, it's I don't know how to say that, but all the ideas I had has been overruled by future steps that I've taken after it, if that makes sense.
I would say I wasn't sure when I went to Lille and to ESPOL what is going to be the difference, what I'm going to get from the university. But when I came back to Budapest, to Hungary to do my internship, actually that was the point when I realized, because I was doing the same internship as other 5 Hungarian students, and I would say that our theoretical knowledge about the subjects that we were working on were equal, but somehow ESPOL gave me so much experience on, for example, just very simply how to write a good policy brief, which is on our field is really important. And as a result of these extra skills that I gained at ESPOL, either the policy brief writing or how to do data analysis, how to use R Studio, for example, these were the differences that gave me the chance to have a job right now, because those other students who came to the internship, they didn't have these skills, and they didn't got hired after all. So I think ESPOL had this added value, which I'm really grateful.
Yeah, and in terms of career and internships, etc., we have a question in the chat, which is, did any of you had the opportunity to do internships, and if yes, where? So maybe you can, let us know about that, each of you.
Yes, I can start again. As I said before, I did my traineeship or internship in the European Satellite Center in Madrid. And I had a niche and still have a niche interest in space. And it's not just for the engineers or the technical aspect of it. I thought, no, I can also do this, although I have a international security politics degree behind me. So even we had, I don't remember it as we had any struggles with it, because I thought maybe there would be struggles with it because I wasn't French, but it was a very smooth transition, and I got the internship, and there was no problem with it, and it was a great communication from the school with me, and then to my traineeship in Spain.
Maybe Audrey, sorry, if you have some.
So I did an internship in artificial intelligence. So I worked on strategies, like I accompanied countries in Africa to kind of create their artificial intelligence strategies, and then we review them and made sure that it was fitting to their current like landscape in the country. So yeah, I think it was very fitting because I did the master's in digital politics. So it was the, let's say, logical continuation from a master's degree.
And Francesco and Mate?
Yeah, I did my internship at ESPOL actually as a research assistant for a European project called Demetra, really related to what I'm doing. So democratic innovation into food system. And then departing from that, I was also able to then find what I'm doing right now. So I'm still working on that European project, but as a PhD. So yeah, and I found it thanks to ESPOL because there was this position open.
I also had the chance to do the internship. I came back to Budapest, as I said, to work with the Hungarian Institute for International Affairs. It's a think tank which is partly working for the foreign ministry, partly working for the whole country, basically. This internship was 3 months long, and the whole summer, basically. And at the end, they offered me a research position at the institution. So luckily, I could stay here, and right now I'm a research fellow here, focusing on energy policy and Middle East as a region, which maybe firstly not connecting too much strictly to the European governance or European politics as our classes were targeting mostly, but still, like, every time when I'm doing an analysis, there's so many things coming back from what we learned at ESPOL, which I'm really grateful for. So I think if you study at ESPOL, you're gonna have a really good chance to do a great internship, actually, because your skills and your knowledge is going to be on a high rank.
Okay, thank you, everyone. We also have a question about mobility. Like, did you do a mobility during your master's? I mean, except from the internships, I would guess.
I didn't, but like even if you don't do the mobility, there is still in M1, I guess, the trip in another country. So in digital politics, we went to Estonia, and we how can I say? We visited different types of institutions and e-governance institutions in Estonia, and also the NATO cybersecurity training camp in Estonia, and it was very interesting. So even if you don't do the mobility, there is still an opportunity to go abroad during your master's.
Okay. Thank you. And I think there was a question that was answered in the chat, but maybe we can have some more insights. Was it difficult to adapt to French people and culture?
Maybe I can start with this. To be honest, I arrived 1 month earlier before the uni started, which was actually very helpful because I could just get to know the city, get to know the people, and try to start this adopting process. But it wasn't that hard. I used to stay in a student residence, which was really helpful because I had international friends and also French friends as well. So it wasn't like I was too much relying only on the French culture and the French people and these things. It was a slower process, but to be honest, now as I look back, I think I could have like jumped straight to more into French culture way earlier as I did. I think I had a little bit of I don't know, I was a bit scared, I would say, but but as right now, I would say to don't be scared and just like go out, talk to the people, experience the city, experience the culture. The sooner you do, the sooner you're going to enjoy it. That's what I can say.
Okay, thank you. If there are any more questions in the chat, feel free to ask. Are the master more theoretical or practical?
Again, I would like to answer this one because we had a full-on debate the first month I started my master's, and it depends on what you mean with it. Because if you mean it as in theoretical, or sorry, practical, in the sense that you have specific policies that you go through, and then you apply the theory onto that, then yes, I can answer it in that sense. Or if you mean practical, more coming out into Paris to see the national, I don't know, asylum law place, or it depends on what you mean with practical. So if you could elaborate a little bit more on that, I would be happy to answer it. But how I saw it when I was there for 2 years, it's theoretical in the sense that yes, you sit there for hours every day and months and years, where you go through all these things you have to learn, and then you really go down into the different stuff of different themes and courses, etc., etc. Practical in the sense that you get to apply it in the way you write your essays, or in the way that you present it in an exam, so forth. But you can also, I used mine practically afterwards. Everything I've learned theoretically, I used afterwards in a practical sense.
I think it's more about the research and professional master's degree. I think it's more about this, which is what you're saying exactly, Karen. But we have a lot of questions from the candidates. Is it more research master's degree? Because like Francesco, you can do a PhD, but also you can work like the other. So I would say it's between. But if you can elaborate, I think this is what you started to tell us. But
yeah, I think that depends on what you would like to do. I mean, if you're into research, if you're into the PhD way of things of doing it, then absolutely. But if you're more into, exactly what you want to do after your academic career, then you can go forward with a professional career. It depends on what you're into, really, because they will suffice either way. You build your academic career as you want, and then they help you with ESPOL. When I say they, ESPOL and the professors, they will help you along the way.
I would like to just add that although during my studies, I was sure about that this is very, very much theoretical. But as it was already said as well, like this theoretical knowledge is going to be turned into practical knowledge in the future. But I had the chance to have classes where I can actually remember to practice different skills that were really useful. For example, about debating. So I think it's also depending on what kind of classes do you choose. How do you select those courses that you actually can? Based on my master, we always had to do different presentations or debates during the class, and these are also skills that a lot of people think that yeah, I know how to do a presentation, but if you go through these different classes, then you learn from each other as other students and from the professors as well how to do it on a way higher level, which is actually going to make a difference later at the job market. These are the small skills that I would say are depending later if you're gonna get the chance or not. Like, of course, it's most of the time luck is also there as a factor, but these are very important ones.
Okay, thank you. We have a few more questions in the chat. Okay, excuse me, as soon as you can, I'd like to know more about the scholarships, please. Maybe I'll leave Olivia to this question.
Yes, hi Camila. So we have, depending on which country are you from, you should contact the French embassy in your country and Campus France, because if you're outside of the EU, it will be probably the most easy way to get a scholarship with us. Then, of course, we have scholarships. We have social scholarships and excellence scholarships. But for this, you have to be already registered students. I will drop my email in the chat, so you can drop me an email and explain your situation, and then I can give you more details by email.
And next question is, I might consider a PhD after. Are there fundings every year for PhD spots?
I'll take that, yes. Yes, let's say yes, there are funding spots. Every year we have two slots for funding for PhD students. But yeah, we can exchange on email so I can give you better infos. But there are two paths. You can either have been fully funded by ESPOL or shared funding between ESPOL and other faculties in Lakato or with other universities. So you can have a co-tutorship between ESPOL and other university in Europe that have some agreements with ESPOL and Lakato. But I can put my email maybe in the chat so you can contact me.
Thank you very much. And the next question is about the Masters in Digital Politics and Governance. So Audrey, please, I'd like to know if it's possible to know more about the Masters and what it entails. So in terms of courses and what you learn, etc.
Okay, so broadly, the Masters in Digital Politics and Governance studies how society, public sector or private sector impacts the digital, but also how the digital impacts policy making, politics, and everything. So we had a large range of courses. We studied cybersecurity, political communication, e-governance. We also studied data protection. So it's really about how the digital is currently shaping the society and also how the society in return shapes the digital. So I would say that if you are interested in globalization, if you're interested in international relations or just about new technologies, it's very interesting and it's a very great masters. Personally, I really enjoyed my experience in this masters, not only from the teachers, because we had teachers that worked on digital diplomacy, we had teachers that were more research based, and we had teachers that also worked in law making. So it was very let's say, like we also said earlier, it was both practical and theoretical, because we did learn a lot of theories, but also we had the chance to apply them in the real world. So I hope it answers your question. And if you have more questions, you can also send me a message. I can leave my email, or on LinkedIn is my name is the same also.
Thank you very much. And we have another question, which is more related to Lille, etc. Do we have time to travel to Paris or Brussels, etc.? I think you do.
Yeah, absolutely. We are. Again, it feels like I'm still there, but it's so close. I mean, you have all your weekends to go back and forth. So yes, in that sense, there will be plenty of time.
Yeah,
Have
you
you had the chance to visit Europe? Like, have you visited some cities that you didn't know, or like highlights of Europe?
I went to Ghent and Bruges because they're so close. You can take a Flixbus and you're there in 30 minutes. And it's only an hour from Paris, so if you want to fly anywhere, or even just an hour and a half if you take the bus to the what's it called, the airport in Belgium. So you can go anywhere from there. So if you're interested in the travels, it's easy, and you can go to London within no time with the Eurostar, and it's a nice hub there. You don't feel excluded in that sense. You can go anywhere.
And despite being the north of France, you can still go to the sea, because you can go in decent times. You can go to Dunkirk, Calais is quite close, like 30 minutes by train or BlaBlaCar. So it's recommended.
Thanks, everyone. And do you think the Alumni Network / Career Center has been beneficial after graduating? Or do you feel confident about your future career even without those?
I would take that. I would say that most likely you're going to have the chance and the ability to be sure about your career. But these networks and these relationships are added values that I think we all have to use. For example, me, I'm still in touch with these 15 people from my master's, not just my program, but other programs, because you can't be sure where you're gonna end up. And as I just said, Francesco who was above me in a year. He finished 1 year earlier than me, his master. He also gave me huge help during my time struggling at ESPOL. So I think ESPOL community, not just the ones that you share your masters with, but even previous students or anyone is actually really helpful, and you just have to live with these opportunities. That's my take on this question.
And if I can take the other part of that, because I didn't use it as much. I know it's there and it's great, but to answer your question of whether you feel confident about your future career, I would say I felt like I was prepared enough, because ESPOL, they for 2 years really put it on you, and they showed you the opportunities that you could do afterwards. So in that sense, I felt confident about my own future career, in the sense that I might not have used the network as much, but it's great. I've seen it. I've been on there, and as Mate said, it's really, really good. And I know from some of the alumni, from friends back home, it's not in the same way as here. So even if you feel confident about your future career, it's still a good idea and a good thing to fall back on and have in the back of your hand in case you need it.
Yeah, and also you shouldn't be afraid to reach out to other people from ESPOL, even if you don't know them, because people, like everyone in ESPOL, is very open. They're always very open to help whatever your problem is. So yeah, you should be like, it's a very good thing to have the alumni network.
Thank you very much for these insights. We have still 2 questions to answer. The first one is about the study trips. I heard about the study trips as a current ESPOL student, because they're going for their bachelor's to Brussels for 1 day. But what about the masters? They'd like to let you to know more about it. Have you been to study trips or?
Okay. Yeah, as the food one, we went to Rome, but I think now the new master goes to Bonn. But so it's still very, very fun. It's a nice moment to bond all together with the group. I think then the digital goes to Estonia, and ISP goes to international security goes to Geneva. So it's fun, nice, also nice places to visit, and great things that you're gonna see. So starting from the UN, the FAO, international organizations, and so many different experiences that you can see. So they're really, really worth it and great to do, especially the first year.
Okay, thank you very much. And last question. Hello, thank you for your feedbacks. As an international student, was it easy to find an accommodation? And is there any accommodation on the campus? So that's one big question.
There is absolutely accommodation on the campus because I lived there for 2 years. So it's easy in the sense that they will help you and you can go through it. And, it's scary to move to a new place and then you have to figure everything out yourself in terms of communications. But again, they're there to help you. So in terms of accommodation on campus, it's there. I do not have any experience with accommodation outside of the ESPOL quarters. So maybe somebody else could say something about that, but it's definitely possible to get accommodation on the campus.
I also went to student residence, but most of my friends actually had accommodation outside of the uni, and what I just learned from them at my last semester, that it's very common to talk with students who are finishing their studies at ESPOL, where do they stay, how is the accommodation, and most of the times when students left, they could like appoint the owner of the house that I have a friend or somebody who wants to like who's looking for a flat, so that you could actually like get to the front of the line easily in this way. So I wouldn't be scared from the accommodation, but as somebody who stayed for the full 2 years at the student accommodation, I really enjoyed it. It's very good because you live alone, but at the same time you have a lot of people around you. You can have benefits like you can go to the uni gym and these things, which is actually like really nice, and they're going to be really helpful. So I wouldn't like just put aside the uni residence from the first case, because I think it's like a very good opportunity.
I stayed outside of the campus, so I was in like students accommodation, but not from the Catholic University of Lille. It was 10 minutes by bus from ESPOL, and also like 20 minutes walks, and it was a very nice area, so it was quite calm, but not far from like the city center or anything, and I also enjoyed staying there. I wouldn't say it's hard to find accommodation, sorry. So yeah, I mean, I stayed there for 5 years and I really enjoyed it.
Thank you very much. If we could have just a quick glimpse on your thesis that you write during your master's degree, in each of your masters, what was it about and how did you survive it?
If I can start, it was I barely forgot it, but I wrote about the European Union and the European Space Agency and how the people within that fluctuated or had like fluid boundaries of how you want to build a European space politics in general. How we gonna what's that called? How we gonna get to space in a way through people and through experiences and through values of these people and their backgrounds. So that was super interesting to do, and I survived it with a lot of snacks and a lot of a lot of help from my professor, who was leading me all the way. Basically, she held my hand the entire way, and that is something very special for ESPOL, I think, because it felt like she actually had the time for me, and it wasn't just a person saying, okay, well, we have a meeting in 2 days and then I have to prepare for only 10 minutes. She was there constantly. I felt like that was a lot of the experiences of my peers as well with their
We lost Caroline. She's in the space, probably.
If I might continue then until she's back, because I'm really sorry about it, but soon I have to leave. So I wrote my thesis about, it was a comparative analysis between the Polish governing party PIS back in the time and the Hungarian Fidesz party, and it was about how does right-wing parties shape their political discourse. It was a complex master thesis, I have to admit, but I enjoyed it writing very much. So many people are scared of the master thesis, but I think this is one of the parts that you should enjoy the most, because it's something that you create and it's going to stay with you forever. So if you put the effort into it, then you're going to be really proud of it. My supervisor was Professor Johannes Karamanz, and he was very, very helpful. He was leading me through all the dark times when I felt lost and I thought that I'm not going to be able to finish it. But just like one thing I would highlight very much, I heard it a lot, I ignored. You shouldn't start it as soon as you can, because if you leave it till the end, it's going to be really hard. And listen for your professors when they say that you really need to start now. because either you can have a very enjoyable time writing it, or when you don't feel the pressure of the time, or I had friends who left it way too late, and then they didn't enjoy writing it, and it can be felt and seen on the pages as well. So I would say that it's a very good chance. Enjoy it. Write about something you really care about, very passionate you feel, but just start it on time because you don't want to waste this opportunity.
I mean, and I can join on that. Since it's your work, that's the opportunity you have to actually to do something that you like, you are interested into. They are not the assignments that you have during the 2 years, but it's something really yours. So it's the time for you to enjoy writing, enjoying what you're interested into, and that's it has to be a nice moment. While most of the time it becomes not very nice since you are stressed with the deadline and the rest. My dissertation, my master thesis was on around climate governance and how oil corporations are using the Paris Agreement to still pollute despite choosing to diminish their CO2 emissions. Was fun. Really grateful for my thesis supervisor that now he's the head of the Green Master, Joseph Hirson. So he's really a great professor, great supervisor, and really he knows what he's doing.
So my master's thesis was on Huawei and 5G. So it was on how securitization. So it was how the different countries, so Germany and Brazil, securitized Huawei. So was it a good securitization or not? And I think the first advice, like Mate said, is to start early, because if you leave it until the end, and I did, you will not enjoy writing it. So really, don't push yourself, but always remember that it's like Francesco said, it's also your work. That's it's your topic, and your like you created from like scratch. So if you really want to enjoy the process and not put too much strain or stress on yourself, you should really start it early. And also I really also enjoyed the fact that the teacher, my supervisor, was very, very available for me and very helpful. Every time I reached out to him, he would always give me very extensive advice, and he would not be afraid to tell me what I did wrong or right. And I really enjoyed it because it gave me the opportunity to reflect on what I was doing and really correct it. So yes, it's not as scary as you think, because you may think that, oh my god, it's so scary, it's gonna be so hard, I'm gonna die. But no, like we all did it, and you are also like you will do it. So don't doubt yourself. And yeah, that's all.
Well, that was our last question. So thank you very much for answering. Thank you very much for being here today, and also for everyone who attended. And the replay will be available very soon for those who were not able to join. So thank you very much, Mate, Francesco, Caroline, and Audrey. And well, see you at some point. Enjoy the evening.